The backbone of the NHRA is the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. Grassroots racers that number in the thousands, competing at NHRA member tracks across North America. Today at Route 66 Raceway, just south and west of downtown Chicago, Illinois, comes a special treat. The best of the best from the NHRA's 7 geographical divisions going head-to-head for big bucks in the JEGS All-Stars. It's all part of the action at the O'Reilly Auto Parts Route 66 Nationals. So strap in and hold on. It's time to go. It is the O'Reilly Auto Parts Route 66 Nationals from beautiful Route 66 Raceway. And with final eliminations of that race to come, we start today, though, with the 27th edition, the JEGS All-Stars and the big cash grab for some of the best sportsman racers across the country. 31 U.S. states, 2 Canadian provinces, 76 different drivers here today to see who can take home the big deposit slip and make their banks and their pocketbooks very, very happy. Alongside of Bob Fry, I'm Dave Reef, very happy to join you as you're watching at home. And Bob, God, you gotta love the JEGS All-Stars. It doesn't get any better than this.
It is like the highlight of my season. I mean that sincerely. I mean, we love watching the fuel cars run, but when you get, 80 or 90 of the best sportsman racers across the country who have fought for a year just to earn the right to get here, then they get to slug it out. You look at the ladders and you go, well, there are no easy pickings here. The whole thing's like, well, it's like an all-star show.
Well, how do you get here?
Fun.
That's what you got to tell us.
Well, the drivers fight over the course of a year. They earn points at their Lucas Oil division races in their home divisions. Divisions 1 through 7, beginning in the Northeast, working their way out to the West Coast. Top points earners earn the right to come here and be an all-star. Now, the drivers come here. They can earn points for individual honors and for team honors. Now, a blocker gets a chance to come in here. We'll explain that when we see them in the eliminations. A blocker can win rounds but cannot earn points for his team. And the double-up bonus given by the great folks at JEGS, if a driver comes in, wins the All-Star event today, comes back and doubles up and wins again tomorrow. It happens often, and if a guy does that, you talk about ka-ching, it is a happy day for some Lucas Oil sportsman racer, and thanks to all the great folks at JEGS.
And even in this JEGS All-Stars, there are guys that can double up at this event. We'll have that story to come. But round 1 highlights start off explosively, scaringly. Thought Mickey Farrell was going to get over here against Tony Bartone.
Yeah, it was an amazing run from Mickey, who's had very tough luck here during the course of the season. We've seen him get in situations like this before and save it. It was amazing that that car did not flip over. Got up on the tires, went in, rode the wall for a little bit. Mickey took a pretty good hit, but he was okay. But I mean, an amazing whack into the wall. And the fact that this car did not go over on its roof, to me itself, was just a stunning thing.
The third member of our broadcast crew is Lauren Bowman. She caught up with Mickey right after this crash.
Thanks, Dave. Mickey had high hopes for this weekend, not only to advance in the national point standing, but also to possibly double up in the JEGS All-Star competition. We just witnessed an incredibly odd turn of events. Mickey, put us in the cockpit and tell us what happened.
Well, unfortunately for this Ryko and green stuff absorbent hydraulics car, we were in trouble early. I swapped feet. We left the starting line. Had a little bit too much wheel speed. The car started to move towards the center line. I've been in that position before and had no problem bringing the car back. As I brought the car back, the back end started to wash out. It got out of the groove. I stepped off the pedal, but unfortunately the car kept washing out. The back end came around. I couldn't save it. It got up on 2 wheels and it hit the wall pretty hard. So, we've done a lot of damage here to our equipment, and unfortunately, we've hurt our chances in the national point standings, and naturally, we would have loved to have gone some more rounds in the JEGS All-Stars, but we're going to have to bring this car to Murph's and get it fixed. And our next race was scheduled for was for the North Carolina Charlotte points race, which is the weekend before Indy. So we should be able to get the car back together for that, and we'll be ready for that in Indy.
Tough break for Mickey Farrell. Here comes John Lombardo Jr. and Kirk Williams.
A Division 5 winner for Kirk Williams, Division 7 for John Lombardo, running the new look race car for the Napa folks. Great drag race here, emblematic of the kind of action we saw in round 1.
Guess what? We've got onboards here, part of the JEGS All-Stars. Let's take a ride, Mr. Lombardo.
Well, you're fighting that thing all the way. He did a pretty good job to keep it straight down the racetrack. Got a little bit out of the groove at the end, but a nice win for this very talented second-generation racer.
Now here comes Todd Venny, Division I blocker, taking on Brent Henry.
Frank Manzo won the All-Stars last year and the division championship, so he got to come in as a points earner. They therefore go to the next guy, and that's Todd Venny, who gets to come in as a blocker. Wins the round, goes to the next round, took out the Division III guy, and another onboard camera shot. Those are way cool, Dave.
Oh, and you can get an idea when you have to pedal a race car like Todd Venny did, just how violent it can be inside the cockpit, but he gets the job done. All right, let's move on now to top alcohol dragster. How about Mike Manners, Mike Austin? I bet Mike wins.
A great job right here. The supercharged car, the good move off the starting line, but the A-Fuel car is on a track that was 131 degrees when they began round number 1. Runs him down and gets the win. So a very nice job there. Solid effort for both teams. I mean, it got awfully hot on the racetrack, and I was surprised we did not see some nasty tires spin. Then we had round 1 of comp. The reigning champion, Bruno Massel, against the Division III champ, Brian Brow and the dragster. Brow got out in front. Very rarely will Bruno not be able to run a guy down, but he wasn't. And the D3 guy with an almost perfect reaction time holds on and gets the win, points for the home team.
Let's listen to Bruno's onboard turbo spooling up. And there you can see Brian Brow pull away. Well, round number 1 is in the books, the 27th annual JEGS All-Stars. And let's take a look. You win a round, you get 100 points, you add it all up, it looks like this.
Yeah, it was a great opening round there for the guys from Division 7 who are looking for their first team championship. The guys from out there in the great Northwest, Division 6, got shut out, but nothing to be ashamed of. You earned the right to come here. That in itself is way cool.
And now we are set for round number 2. We start with the D7 blocker, Jim Whiteley, taking on the 2-time JEGS All-Star champ, Bill Reichert.
Everyone is a monster matchup, and the reigning Lucas Oil World champ loses by a car length here on a brutally hot track. Whiteley 538, Reichert 542. That was a spectacular run there for the Why Not gang.
Did you notice the D7, D4 points? Here's D7's Chris Demke, D4's Mike Manners.
And Chris Dempke's car going south after they came east because they're out from the west, and Mike Manners going in, and he's from somewhere else.
Trying to keep track with that. Here comes John Lombardo. Can he take out Frank Manzo, the 8-time winner in his 19th appearance here?
I'm guessing not. Especially when you get over by the wall like that. We got that onboard camera. We'll see that again. I mean, masterful job to keep this thing from hitting the wall.
Out of the groove, up against the wall, and the top left of your windshield, Manzo streaks by for the win. All right, here comes Todd Venny, that D1 blocker, taking on the D4 car, Tony Bartone.
Yeah, Todd and the Follow the Dream car, just looking to put this thing in the winner's circle. How cool would that be for the second-generation racer whose dad raced here back in 1985 when this thing kicked off, and he gets the win, 569 to a 569. Great job right there for Todd.
And watch on board to see what Todd Venny has to go through. Shift light comes on twice, bangs those shifts just perfectly. And at the finish line, it's very, very close. 5.3 feet. As a matter of fact, as you see the intervals, Venny ahead all the way, except for the 60-foot mark, but it only matters who crosses the 1321st. 4 guys competing in 2 classes. 2 of those guys have an opportunity to double up.
One of them is over on the right-hand side. That's Slate Cummins against Joe Santangelo. Listen to what these guys do at the end of the racetrack. On again, off again. You cannot run under your dial-in, and Slate Cummins, almost perfect off the starting line, goes 904 to get the win, and he goes in. He's got a chance to double here today. That is unprecedented.
The other driver, Tommy Phillips. Here are the standings after 2 rounds, after the semifinals. And how about Division 7 and Division 4 locked up with 1,100 each? D7 has never won. The division director right now standing by with our Lauren Bowman.
No, Dave, they sure haven't ever won, and they are now tied for first with Division 4 for the team championship. Mike, what would it mean for you to win a JEGS All-Star?
Oh, as a division director, this is the ultimate. For the sportsman racers, this is the ultimate accomplishment. If we can put our names on that trophy with the history, the list of names that's on there is just amazing. And we're finally in a position going into the final rounds that we're going to be able to do this, I think.
This is awesome. What strategy do you tell them?
Well, it's the same thing every year. I just tell them all before first round, just go out and win 1 round at a time. First round's the most important. The most guys we get through first round, the better off we are.
Thank you.
Is this going to be a historic day for D7? We'll find out in just a moment. But here's Frank Manzo's Hoosier tires crinkling at 1,200 frames a second. Frank and the rest of the best, the JEGS All-Star Finals, coming up next.
The NHRA Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. Brought to you by Lucas Oil, the world leader in high-performance lubricants and problem-solving attitudes.
In slow motion, how about Dwayne Shields' Short Line Express? That is incredible. You know, names like Pat Austin, Blaine Johnson, and Darrell Russell are just a few of the NHRA full throttle drivers that were also JEGS All-Star champions and know exactly what it means to be a JEGS All-Star.
As a driver coming here to the JEGS race, it's all the pressure throughout the entire country. Out of every race you've done leading up to this point, this is where it all gets put on your shoulders, because if you go out first round here, you came all the way. You tried doing your best all year long to come to the JEGS All-Star just to have a shot at it. So now that means the pressure is tripled, quadrupled on the driver, because that means you better be on your game, cutting the light, and try and turn that wind light on. So the pressure is ungodly amount. It's awesome.
The way I look at it is there's certain stepping stones in the sport, things you want to accomplish, especially in the class you're in. And if your goal is to race top fuel, you want to be successful at the class that you are kind of making the ranks through. You want to be able to win at those levels too. And when you race the All-Stars, it's kind of just like a symbol, something that you really want to look forward to. It's like you said, not everybody wants to race top fuel because, it's a little more expensive, or maybe they're a little bit older, or whatever. It's just not their goal. But to race the All-Stars, it's the most special thing, in my opinion, next to winning a championship in the whole sportsman ranks.
There is a lot of pressure. I mean, when you're racing the best of the best in any category, definitely the pressure rises up. You're running #1 guy from each division, and I mean, to look at the fields this year, or even in the years that I was running it, I mean, it's the best of the best.
It is time to hand out the JEGS hardware at this 27th annual JEGS All-Stars, and we start with the stock All-Star finalists. Here's Slate Cummings, one of the men we talked about, in fact, the only guy going for 2, taking on Mark Fall. Bob Fry, Dave Reef, joined by Jack Coughlin Jr. in the booth.
It's a great way to start the finals, Jake. And Mark Falls won this thing before in Slate Cummings with a chance for history to win in 2 classes here. How huge is this for Slate?
It's huge, and here we go. Good start by both drivers.
Let's find out that car all the way from out in Washington State out in front. Slate Cummings trying to close in on him, see if he can't get the first win, if it possible 2. No, Mark Fall gets the win. How about that? 0.21 light, just slightly better off the starting line. Runs 11.57, and Mark Fall says, if you're going to win 2, you're not going to do it going through me.
And there is the photo finish camera. Well, here is Jack Coughlin Jr., one of the men that makes the guys with yellow hats jump up and down like that. That's because there's JEGS on the back of the hat, and of course, that man's name is JEGS. JEGS, what does it mean to be involved with this now for the 27th consecutive year?
Well, it's something we're very proud of, the Coughlin family and everybody at JEGS, without question. I can recall being on the fence in Bowling Green. I've said this story before, but it's such a unique event, the JEGS All-Stars. It brings together 80 of the best sportsman racers across the country from all 7 geographic divisions and all 10 Lucas Oil classes to battle it out right here for the best of the best. And, we just mentioned we had Slate Cummings going for the first ever double up in 2 different eliminators. Mark Fall, last year's champion, took him at the stripe there.
It is the Super Street Finals here for the JEGS All-Stars. It's Mike Griggs out of Division 2 taking on Scott Reinshield in that Corvette out of Division 3. Can the Corvette run him down at the stripe? Oh no, it's going to be Mike Griggs. Check out that reaction time. 0.001 down at the starting line. They are plenty happy. How about at the finish line? Man, this one was close. How close? That close. Here's Lauren with our stock winner at the far end.
Mark, this is your 2nd time winning a JEGS All-Star event. Is this time just as awesome?
I think this time might be even better. It's just so hard to say how great this sport is and how great JEGS treats you and all the good things they do for us. It's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we move on now to Super Gas, where Tommy Phillips was looking to go to his 2nd final at this deal until Rusty Cook took him out. He's taking on that guy's brother-in-law, Jason Kenny.
Yeah, here's
soon to be, that is.
Soon to be, correct.
Yeah, Jason cannot get points. He is the blocker. We mentioned that earlier, but he can keep Rusty Cook from Division 3 winning. Division 3's got an outside shot, of course. Losing that Super Street final hurt him a little bit.
Correct.
For the overall team championship, this is a pretty big run here for Rusty Cook.
Absolutely. And, Jason being a return champion, both of them again with a great start. Rusty with a slight starting line advantage.
And Rusty runs his big speed. Hayes from Kentucky. He's got a UK helmet on. Down there at the stripe, the 2 new look cars going through. And how about Rusty Cook gets the win?
Here's Lauren with the Super Street winner.
Mike, you just were upset that Jason Kinney did not win, but you are taking home a win, and you said, oh man, I wish my dad was here. Why is that so important?
Because he's about a half a mile up on the starting line, and I really wish he was down here to celebrate with me. I'd love to see the video replay of him on the starting line. He's down there celebrating as much as I am, I know. He's probably already on the phone with my mom.
I can't wait to see him come congratulate you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Jegs for putting on this show, and my mom, my dad, my brother, Keith Fulp, my good buddy Dan O'Connell, who built that whole car and the motor in there. And without his support, I wouldn't be able to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And here is the reaction from his dad, Mike Griggs, a guy in the white T-shirt, split decision, but son's got the big check. We're going to the 890 category now, where Michael Miller and Tommy Phillips. Here is Phillips trying to get that Jegs All-Star Wally.
We're going to take on Michael Miller and Tommy Phillips. And Jeggy, you get any better pair than this in the 890 class?
No, I don't think so. Tommy's certainly been one of the hottest Superclass racers, well, for the last couple of years, but certainly this year in 2011. Michael Miller, again, a return champion, is definitely a very good competitor.
This is great. Mike Miller's the defending champion, as you said, just like Mark Fall. They were both blockers, so they can win for themselves. Can't add points to the team, but they can keep the Division 4 guys from getting the win. Tommy Phillips, you saw him win at Bristol earlier this year. He might be the leader in the clubhouse in the battle for a Lucas Oil World Championship. Off the starting line, slight edge to Michael Miller, but at the end, Tommy Phillips runs him down and pushed him out of here. 8:89 breakout for Michael. Tommy on the upside, 8.91 seconds. And once again, great win for Tommy Phillips. Let's go down to Lauren again at the end of the track.
This is the first appearance for Rusty in the Jegs All-Star, and now you're taking home a win. How satisfying is this?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, I just praise God, and all the team can't even get it out here. All the Division 3 team, all great supporters, and it's just an unbelievable day.
So great to see all the hard work pay off, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's very satisfying.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, they're staging up here for the top dragster final.
This is big for the Division 3 guys on the left side and Division 7. Two of the teams slugging it out for the championship here. Advantage out of the gate slightly to James Monroe. The killer at the top end gets the win, 6:75. The homeboys, the crowd goes wild, and they should, Jaggy.
Yeah, that was a great run. Looks like Hoover crossed the finish line first, but broke out, giving Killer James a great final round win there.
Back at the starting line. Didn't want to see how it started. Think she knows how it ended?
Oh,
Can't believe it.
A lot of emotion goes in the sport, without question.
Let's go down to Lauren.
Tommy, you had a chance to double this weekend because you qualified in 2 classes. How satisfying is this first win for you?
Oh, it's very satisfying. It's been 4 or 5 years since I've been in the Jegs All-Star, so to get them both here, that's amazing in those classes. The level of competition we have is unbelievable, so very satisfying.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Of course, Tommy, one of 4 guys that came here, qualified in 2 classes, only able to make it to the final in this one. Slate Cummings did make it to the finals in 2. He'll have his opportunity again.
Big run right here. The king, they call him. Ronnie Davis and that Corvette. On the other side, Joe Rubicek coming in from California Division 7. This is huge for the Division 7 guys, Shaggy.
Absolutely. Again, I keep saying it, but we've got 2 front runners. The king, Ronnie Davis, in the left lane, one of the founders of Top Sportsman over the years. And Joe Rubicek's been a huge, big runner out of the West Coast.
It's going to be a fun race. Could come down to reaction time as you see the handicap start. Who got the jump? It's Joe Rubicek. But here comes Ronnie Davis. Can he run him down? Oh, he ran out. And it's going to be Rubicek with the win on the 7:02. And the starting line, nothing but high fives and lots of hugs. We're going to step away, add up some points. When we come back, we got more Jegs All-Star competition as we get even closer to the team title. The Jegs All-Stars continue here at Route 66 Raceway, part of the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series, which looks oh so cool in slow motion. Down at the far end, here's Lauren with James Monroe.
Congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much. It felt like we were both pretty hot coming down there, and I just did everything I could do to get out of the way at the finish line, and it worked out.
Sure did. Congratulations.
Jaggy shop talk. A little hot, get out of the way. What's he talking about?
Well, I think he felt like both of them were probably going to run under their posted dial-ins, and meaning getting out of the way. bailing out and hitting the brakes, and worked out perfect for him.
It's an art form, isn't it?
It is an art form.
Mike DePalma, Division I. It's a big race. Frank Aragona standing on the other side from Division 7.
Yeah, this baby's just about over, though. The Division 7 guys have been last win. Just about to throw a hammerlock over this thing. It's comp one of the really exciting classes in the Jegs All-Star competition. Out of the starting gate, Aragona, much better reaction time. Look at the difference in cars. That's what makes this a cool class. At the top end, the former Lucas Oil champion of the world, Jegs All-Star champion, goes 8-11. Division I gets the win, and how cool is that?
Look at that excitement by Steve Zupka there on the starting line. Good job. They were runner-up last year, and pull off a win is great for him.
Steve was in the All-Stars. His dad, Phil, was here. Frankie Jr., the star. He saw his dad on the starting line. What a great family operation it is. And to have it all come together, being presented by your family, just shows how really neat the All-Star competition is, Jaggy.
Yeah, look at Frankie there. He's pumped up.
And after being a two-time runner-up, now he's a Jegs All-Star champ. Here's Lauren.
Joe, you said this day can be very stressful, but you may have locked up the Division 7 win. How great is this?
Oh, my gosh. If I was the one that claimed it or sealed the deal with them, that even better. We're just doing great. We're a bunch of good, tough racers, and we came in here with a good idea that we could do some damage. So, can't expect any more of the guys. I mean, we did really well. We're really happy. I'm so ecstatic. I don't know what to say.
A lot of hard work and toil certainly paid off.
Here comes the Superstock Finals. In the right lane, Slate Cummings. In the left lane, Tony Mandela. Team chase gets interesting here.
So 4 and 7, but this is big right here for both of them. Off the starting line, slight edge for Slate. And this caliber of competition, 100th of a second off the line can make the difference. Slate trying to get at least one win here today, and he gets it. Division 4 goes 9:09 for the win. Slate gets it. Tony Mandela with a great effort, but it's Slate Cummings giving the Division 4 guys another round win. And now that should be it. And the Division 4 guys are going to be your 2011 Jegs All-Star champions. They just seem to come out of nowhere under Craig Hutchinson and win this thing.
How about that? Look at Slate catching him early in the run there and just pacing the rest of the way down the track.
And the reaction back at the starting line, that team will split $20,000 6th time they've won it.
He was just going in a little hot and then tried to get out of the way.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to get out of the way, though. He was just wanting to get there by just an inch or two and did a good job.
Once more at the far end, here's Lauren.
Frank Aragona has battled through 2 runner-ups, and now you've taken home the win. How exciting is this?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm very emotional right now. This is like my first win back in '95. This is an awesome program Jegs puts on. My dad worked so hard at this. I just wanted to drive well and get the win for him, and hopefully I did, and I got the win. So I'm just so excited. I don't even know what to say.
You got the win. You're certainly no stranger to winning. Congratulations.
You know what a great year it's been for that family. I had the honor of inducting his dad into the Division I Hall of Fame earlier this season. He comes down here, qualifies for the All-Stars, and wins it as a great racing family. I announced back at AFCO when his dad was racing back in the 60s and 70s, and to see him come down here, you see Dad coming down right there. There he is, smiling. He's in the Hall of Fame, and just that's what it's all about, Jag. It's such a great family thing. I've said it a couple of times. I'll say it again.
Absolutely.
And thanks to your family.
Well, it's been our pleasure, and this is our 10th year with Jegs being the title over top of the Jegs All-Stars, and we're certainly looking forward to many more.
20 great moments. Now here comes Top Alcohol Funny Cover. That man in his 19th appearance already has 8 Jegs All-Star wins. He's taking on a man who has yet to even win a national event. What kind of feather would it be in the cap of Todd Venny right here?
Well, he idolizes Frank Manzo. I mean, and Manzo was in his first All-Star race in 1987. Of course, Todd's dad was here in '85. There's the Jay Blakely. And they told me right now this car's good. They feel that they can beat Frank on this hot track.
Todd with a real nice start. Got Manzo horsepower.
Too much Alanabi. 559, 259 miles an hour now for the 9th time as you watch Todd Venny try and slow that machine. It's all Alanabi once again.
Just a marvelous thing what he has done with that race car and that team. He came off losing 3 races
talk about that,
in 8 days and came out here, and he was there for the taking in the earlier rounds, Jaggy. When it's like a heavyweight fighter, when you knock him down, you got to put him out. You let Frank get up off the canvas again, and you're probably going to lose in the end, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. He's, you know, to see him win his 200th race win was extremely amazing, and this guy's not done. He's nearing 100 national event victories. You know, just been the pinnacle of the class for years, and he showed us today.
And
why.
your accounts are going to start to think that he's on the payroll. They're writing out so many checks to him.
Yeah, whenever we are on board with Todd Venny, hitting his shift points there,
Didn't look too bad.
No.
Look at that thing bouncing around.
568. It's about what Todd's been running all day.
When the other guy's running 50s on a hot track, you get out of your car, you go congratulate him. Let's go down to Lauren.
I'm here with one very happy Slate Cummings. I had a hard time tearing him away from everybody that was cheering and excited for him. Slate, you just clinched the Division 4 title. How excited?
Man, it was good enough to win the All-Stars with Jegs, but to clinch it for my division, that just makes it even worth more. I mean, our division's tried hard. We got, I think, in my opinion, that we got some of the best racers in the country, Division 4, and we finally paid off, and I'm tickled to death.
Go celebrate with that Division 4. I think they owe you a beer, if not a case of beer.
I think they owe me a crown.
Congratulations.
Thank y'all. Woo! Woo!
That's a great line. They owe me a crown.
It's great to celebrate. Hey, you earned the right to do it. Oh, man, I haven't seen dancing that bad since the Lloyd Thaxton show, for goodness sakes. And on the other side of it, I mean, there's a winner and there's a loser, but you qualify for the All-Star, you make it to the final, you get beat by the best guy in the business. And, Jackie, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
Todd's been doing a great job behind the wheel.
Here comes the shredder. Mike Manners, his first career Jegs All-Star appearance, made his way into the final round where he's going to take on that always tough Jim Whiteley.
That's going to be amazing. We're going to do another track spotlight in Grand Junction, Colorado next week. Jim Whiteley and his whole family are going to be there. But right now, he's just looking to go into the winner's circle. He's going to do it. Jim Whiteley's become only the second guy in the history of the All-Stars to win alcohol dragster in back-to-back years. Tom Conway, 20 years ago, was the only other guy to do it. Let's go down to Lauren.
Frank Manzo, I just told you that this was your 9th win, and you said that just means I'm old. Really, what does this mean to you?
It's unbelievable, you know, to come here. Jegs put this on for all the sportsman racers. I mean, that's just hats off to them. I mean, to go beyond and above for the sportsman racers is unbelievable. It's great. I just want to say a few things. I had a fuel leak up there, and that Follow a Dream team, I mean, class act. They could have did the burnout and got back, and I probably would have never got the fuel line tightened up in time, but they waited. And basically, they did a heck of a job all weekend. Todd's first year in the All-Star, he did a great job. He took out some big hitters, and you know, I just want to thank them all. I mean, it's unbelievable. That's what a team is all about. That's what this sportsman racing is all about. And I just want to thank Al Nobby, Hoosier Tires, for making this thing stick every run, and Jegs, the whole Jegs family. I mean, what they do for the sportsman races is unbelievable. I mean, nobody has no idea. I mean, there's a lot of work, a lot of time. Forget about the money that they put into this, but the amount of time and effort, and especially this guy right here, what he has to go through to round up all the sportsman racers here all day at the races and keep us under control. And just want to thank him, that's all.
Thank you.
And that is a great way to wrap up the 2011 version of the Jegs All-Stars for the 27th time. We're Jeg Coughlin. We want to thank you for coming in. We know you got a stalker sitting back there, and of course, there's always the lure of Pro Stock coming back. Plenty of emotion today, and we will continue to spread the love when we come back to Route 66 Raceway and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Route 66 Nationals. Division 4 celebrates their Jegs All-Star Team Championship with their minds on some Division 4 guys not able to be here. Of course, the late Lynn Nickerson, announcer from the area, and Bob Galletti, the top sportsman blocker that was supposed to be here, was recently diagnosed with cancer. Our thoughts are with you, Bob, and congratulations to Division 4. With the last winner of the day from the Jegs All-Stars, here's Lauren.
Jim, this is 2 years in a row that you've clinched the Jegs All-Star. How do you think you can keep this momentum going for tomorrow?
Well, we're looking pretty good. The cars give us a few hoops. We burnt some pistons up and done some valves in, but the guys worked their tail off, and well, I feel pretty good about it. You know, you never want to take too much for granted, but the guys have got this thing hauling, and I'm excited about tomorrow.
In other words, there will be some celebrating, but also a late night fixing the car.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Definitely going to be that. And I want to thank Jegs, everybody, for putting this on. It's a wonderful deal. Thanks.
Thank you.
And from the miracle of modern television, we fast forward now to Sunday in the NHRA Route 66 Nationals, the national event, where we start with alcohol funny car highlights. Round number 1, Andy Bull, Brian Howe. Just a great race.
Of course, you get those Division All-Stars that still get to come back and run in the big race. In Division 6, Division 3, 570 just edges out, 572 for Andy Bull.
You watch Frank Manzo win for the 9th time as you take a look at the photo finish cam at the line. That's how close it was. I mentioned Frank Manzo. 9 times Jegs All-Star winner. Coming back for the double up today,
Stunning first-round upset. Only the 7th red light of his career. The first time since 1987 that he fouled out in round number 1.
The door and the points wide open. Now in round number 2. How about the 15-time champ Vern Motes taking on John Bojack?
Stunning to watch Vern. Bojack was the recipient of Manzo's red light, could not capitalize, and Vern Motes goes to the semifinals.
70 plus, doesn't matter, he is there. Now we're going to top alcohol dragster. Let's duck back to round number 1. Dwayne Shields, the points leader in the category. It's a big race for him. Somebody forgot to tell Dave Harada, though.
Yeah, Dave Harada's team, boy, if they come to life again, it's a whole new ball game, especially here in Division 3 in the alcohol dragster, because for years that car was very solid. Missed the combo, apparently have it again.
Here's a rematch of the JEGS final. Jim Whiteley, Michael Manor, same result.
Jim Whiteley's car is just running so very well. They love this racetrack. They got a handle on it. They'll be able to adapt to the hot temperatures. 541, pretty impressive number.
And on this hot, sticky afternoon in Chicago, Illinois, Joliet specifically, we are ready for the top alcohol funny car semifinals. And here's the Lucas Oil ladder where the drivers in white will pick their lanes coming up. Of course, lane choice going to the quicker ET from the previous round. We start with Vern Motes, the 15-time champ, taking on John Lombardo Jr. We've had an onboard camera with him all weekend long. Thought maybe this was going to be a day for Vern Motes, but it's John Lombardo who hits the stripe first. 567, 255 as you go on board and watch him slow down that Napa Pro Series machine.
Yeah, you thought maybe it was Vern's time. We had some stunning upsets. Frank Manzo out in round number 1. There's that onboard camera shot. The red light says shift it, hit the parachutes and slow down. And John Lombardo in that new look Napa, good to go, going to the finals.
Now back at the starting line. 47-year-old Ray Drew. Don't see him a lot on our ESPN2 coverage. And Tony Bartone will set up that matchup. But first, let's check in with Lauren.
John Lombardo, 567. You were hoping to do a little bit better, but it doesn't matter now. You're into the finals. Now, you told me, you and Bob DeVore both told me, this track has a very unique personality. What does that mean?
Well, we were here last year, went 56, 59, raced into the semis, had a great day, and we came back here with some of those notes. And the on and off cloud cover and the heat and the temperature has just made it a tricky track. And we've been running 70, 71, and we needed a little more, and that 67 will definitely help us. So great for the Good to Go Napa Batteries Tour and Napa Pro Series. Cecilia and Charlie are here with us over the weekend, and Tim from Napa Legend Batteries, and we're just glad to be here on the campaign, and we get to go race for the final today.
See you in the finals.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, there have been a lot of upsets so far. Ray Drew looking to go to his first final round against John Lombardo. Tony Bartone in the right lane. I got to tell you right now, Ray Drew is the favorite. This car's been running low 560s all weekend long. They got the clutch combination figured out. They've really not made a bad run here this weekend.
Going to have to overcome a huge starting line deficit, and it's not going to happen. Bartone goes 565, 257. Drew picks a bad time to have a bad light. Slow. Bartone into the finals.
Yeah, that 572 wouldn't have helped him even if he had had a good reaction time there, but a nice weekend for Ray Drew and that entire team. But Tony Bartone with Frank Manzo out in round number 1, a great opportunity to make hay here, pick up a whole pile of points for that Rick Jackson team car. They've been running very well, and he met Ray Drew and took him out. The car looked pretty good. 2 cars in the final round, mathematically rather evenly matched.
Bartone will have the lane choice. Slow things way down. Take a look at the center point collision car in Ultramo.
Those shots just always amaze me. What a great thing they can do with the technology here to take a look at those race cars. And even in slow motion, that looks like a pretty good run. We saw the track temperature. It has been hovering around 130 all weekend long. That will really test man and machine. Steve Boggs has that car running very well. It's funny. We saw the track temp at 128. I asked him earlier, when does the track really get iffy for these cars? He said, oh, about 125. Then he gave me another 30 minutes like Steve Boggs always does.
And here comes semis now for the top alcohol dragsters. The champ, Bill Reichert in the left lane. Marty Thacker in the right.
Great matchup. 2 of the great Division 3 guys. They have split their 16 previous meetings.
Give it to the Rizlone driver. Bill Reichert wins 544, 259 miles an hour.
When Marty Thacker got out of shape, I thought he was in really deep trouble, but he looked like he almost saved it. Those supercharged cars come off at really high RPMs, lifts that front end off the ground. Marty Thacker, maybe more than anybody else, likes to carry those front wheels. He's making a whole lot of power, but you can see the back tires really wadding up and shaking badly. Front wheels come down there, turned a little bit, drove that car toward the center line, and by that time, Bill Reichert in the Rizlone car in the other lane. A little revenge for the round out in Norwalk when Marty Thacker took him out right there. So Bill Reichert's in the money round, and we're going down to the end of the racetrack in Lauren.
Tony, you've been racing like a machine all weekend. You said you had tuned your car for a 61. How is your team handling this incredibly hot track?
Well, you know, after qualifying and the Jegs All-Star race, we made some major changes to the power and specifically in the bell housing. We're going up and down the track. We'd like to be going faster, but you know, the center line car is it's making its move. It's getting out there. It's getting the round wins. We'd always like to be running faster, but we're in the final.
At this point, it seems to be working. Thanks.
Yes, indeed it does. The Lucas Oil ladder, you can see one of the two finalists has already been decided as Reichert has made his way. Now here comes a great matchup. Chris Dempke been running gangbusters today, and Jim Whiteley going for the double-up.
Yeah, the supercharged cars pretty much having their way with the injected cars here today, with the exception of that last pass by Bill Reichert. So the champ with his A fuel dragster waiting here. Jim Whiteley, of course, made a little bit of history in the All-Stars with back-to-back wins. He'd love to get a shot at the reigning champion here, but Chris Dempke and Jerry Madden, the Peenwright car, been tough to beat this year.
Oh, and that's a great drag race. Make it a whole shot win for Jim Whiteley. Got to go back to that 0.29 reaction time. That's the difference, as his 5.37 is slower. In terms of time, it's a quicker 5.36.
What a spectacular drag race right there. There's your margin of victory. It's half a car length at the stripe. Let's go down with another lucky winner hanging out with Lauren.
Bill is a lucky winner. He has been keeping track of Marty beat him once, I beat Marty once, now I've beaten Marty twice. You have a little bit of a disadvantage this weekend in your A fuel dragster because of the heat. Can you explain that for us?
Well, the Bars Leaks Rizlone car definitely is harder to tune when it's this hot. It seems like it's hard to keep it running on all 8 cylinders. When we do, it goes real fast, but we haven't been real consistent. Sometimes consistency is what wins the races, so we're going to try our best to get a nice run for the final for the Bars Leaks and Rizlone car and Redline Oil and all my sponsors. Thank you very much.
Enough consistency to get you into the final, Bill. Yeah. Dave?
Thank you, Lauren. 30 minutes north and east of here. Yeah, check out the Chicago River and go see some of the great sights downtown Chicago, Illinois. Just one of the things you can do after drag racing is done here at Joliet. The O'Reilly Auto Parts NHRA Route 66 Nationals comes to a close next with all the finals. Don't go anywhere. You gotta love Rusty Cook in that Ohio crankshaft car. Cuts the light, then drops the visor. Just all part of what sportsman racers do here at Route 66 Raceway in Joliet, Illinois. I'm Dave Reef along with Bob Fry, who recently we put on a plane. We sent him to Tri-State Dragway in Hamilton, Ohio, operated by Bob and Pat Loudon and his son Dave. We had a chance to talk to him about how great that racetrack is.
Dave, this is a great family operation. Tell us about your family's involvement here at the track.
Well, we actually started racing here in about 1974 and have run the facility since 1982. As you well know, by now, Mom's at the front gate and Dad's out and about. And I've been here since '82 as an announcer. So, but I've also worked the front gate. I ran the starting line. I help with tech. So again, pretty much whatever needs to be done, I get the call. So.
Tell us about the event here this weekend. It's pretty big for you guys.
Yeah, it's our championship bracket series event. It's evolved over the years. We've done it in various forms or stages over the years. Right now, I truly believe it's one of the more affordable weekend events in the tri-state area. Essentially, racers can come in, pay $100 for the weekend, and run 3 completely separate races. We do on Memorial Day weekend, July 4th weekend, and Labor Day weekend.
I looked at the prices here, and dollar for dollar, this may be one of the best values a racer could find.
Exactly. They can come in. They get here. A lot of them get here on Friday. You know, a day before. Like I said, $100, and they don't leave until it's time to go back to work on, in this case, Tuesday.
And of course, you got some great help with some supporters like the folks at Escort and the performance people.
Absolutely. I mean, they do a tremendous job. Joe Leach and the entire Leach family, Performance Motorsports and Machine, have been instrumental in the track and helping keep it going. The racers all go to Papa Joe, they call him a lot of times, for advice on tune-up and setup of the car and whatnot. And Carl Leach, John Leach, like I said, that's a couple of the other brothers. I mean, they've been fixtures at the racetrack for a number of years.
Great job right there. They also had the first ever bracket race buyback at that track in the Mini Nationals in 1969. It was so cool.
And how cool. It was Bob Friday. It's time now for our finals. We begin Super Street.
On Sunday, Scotty Reinshield made it to the final round of the All-Stars yesterday. Dan Carter's a former All-Star champ as they get set to go. Your first Lucas Oil Sportsman final. Dan had a little trouble staging there. This is Super Street. You've got to run 10.90. Almost dead even off the starting line. Couple of the great runners out of the home division. Division 3, Chevrolet Camaro trying to hold off the Corvette. Nope, Scotty on the 10.90 dial runs 10.90.
And now we move to Joe Sorensen, set to take on Slate Cummings. It's our stock eliminator final.
This is a great car, Joe Sorensen, your classic big V8, the 427, all the way in from Woodburn, Oregon. Slate Cummings, who had that chance to double up yesterday. A couple of Jags All-Stars going at it head-to-head. Slight edge for Slate off the starting line, but that 427 eats up a lot of real estate in a very short period of time. But to stripe the winner, it is going to be Slate Cummings.
And here comes the first of our Jegs All-Stars double-up opportunists.
Rusty Cook running with that University of Kentucky Wildcats helmet. How cool is that? All he's got to do to double up is beat one of the best in the business in Jimmy Lewis. Off the starting line, Rusty was perfect on reaction time. He runs that big speed. Can he push out Jimmy Lewis at the stripe? No, Jimmy gets the win at 9:91.
Michael Manns was in the Jegs All-Star competition. He's taking on Chris Cheney in the Superstock final.
This is a Division 5 car. It's a second-generation racer. Right there, Michael's dad, Randy, longtime runner out of that Rogers, Minnesota area. Chris Cheney from Oklahoma, where the wind comes, well, you know,
sweeping down the plains.
That'd be it.
Car's pretty even off the starting line. Now let's see how they've dialed him in. Michael Manns looking for his second national event win. His first one came here in Chicago, and he's got it right here. The 890 category is Super Comp. The door cars, Kevin Kleinweber. The dragsters, Larry Bernshausen.
Not a whole lot of door cars have a lot of success in this category. Larry Bernshausen from Illinois. He's won national events before, but in super gas with a way cool station wagon. Slight edge, Larry off the starting line, but Kleinweber's been taking out some of the big guns in this class with that Chevrolet Lumina at the stripe. The win does it again. Kleinweber 890 on the 890.
And when we come back, it will be Top Alcohol Funny Car, where Tony Bartone could put a stranglehold on the points. Plus, Top Alcohol Dragsters, a monster matchup between the champ and Jim Whiteley when we come back.
The NHRA Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series, brought to you by Lucas Oil, the world leader in high-performance lubricants and problem-solving attitudes.
It is final round time for the Top Alcohol Funny Cars here at the O'Reilly Auto Parts Route 66 Nationals. It's John Lombardo, who came out of the number 5 hole, taking on Tony Bartone, who's got a stranglehold on the points. He qualified third.
Great matchup right here as Bartone and that Rick Jackson car looking, as you said, to add to that points total. Menza went out early. Everybody else can make hay while the sun shines.
How about Tony Bartone? He pressed the wall up on the right side, stayed with it, and got the win. 563, 256 miles of manhandling power, mile an hour.
Boy, he did. That's why they pay the drivers the big bucks. Slight edge for the Napa car and John Lombardo off the starting line, but down to the mid-track. Steve Boggs, who said he had a handle on this track at the middle of the race course, did indeed put the power to the ground. They did not miss a beat in the final round. Nice job. You can see him out the window in the right lane because Tony Bartone got the win.
Tony, what was it like manhandling that car for the win?
Well, you know, got a little bit out of the groove first time all weekend, but, you know, we brought home the bacon. We did what we had to do. It was an opportunity weekend for us once Mr. Manzo went out in the first round, and I was just hoping to keep it all together and, you know, be able to get to the final. And, of course, we brought home the bacon. And once again, I have to thank all my sponsors, Centerpoint Collision, Redline Oil, Hussey Copper Head Gaskets, Hussey Rods, Darren Meyer, Simpson, Jazz Products. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I'm a little nervous and I'm a little excited all at the same time. And I'd also like to thank my new sponsor, O'Reilly Auto Parts, for helping us this weekend here at the O'Reilly Parts Nationals.
Congratulations, Tony.
You can stop shaking, Tony. You got the win.
Yeah! Andy worked in the word bacon. That was a pretty good reaction. How about the one coming out of the car when he knew he'd won? That's pretty good, too. Top alcohol dragsters to come when we come back to Route 66 Raceway. It is time for a big moment in Top Alcohol Dragster at the finals here at Route 66 Raceway. That is because Jim Whiteley, the Jegs winner yesterday, has an opportunity to double up. He's taking on the champ, Bill Reichert. This race also has plenty of points implications.
Yeah, Jim Whiteley, all he's got to do to pick up that double is beat the reigning and 5-time world champion in Bill Reichert. Supercharged and an A fuel car. But Jim Whiteley's had the better car from a performance standpoint.
Great finish. It is going to be the champ, though, blocking Jim Whiteley from the double up. Particulars 538 beats a 542. The champ's back on the map.
How about that? Finally gets his first win of 2011, and he's still got a great chance to go for the championship again. Look at those tires bouncing off the racetrack. Norm Grimes said we can navigate this thing pretty well in the middle of the racetrack. Getting it off the starting line could be a bit more problematic. And right there, that may have been the undoing. 0.04 of a second behind Bill Reichert. And back at the starting line, his wife, the rest of the family, they go wild, and they should. They just won a big one.
Bill, it is so hard to believe that this is your first win of 2011. How long has the road felt this year?
Felt very long. You know, it's always good to get a win, and the first win of the season is even better. The Bars Leaks Rizlone car just, it must have made a good run on that run. It felt really good. We finally found the tune-up to what it needed to do the job, so I'm very, very happy with the whole thing.
You went a 538.
538, that's a good number. That's a real good number on a hot day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now it'll be interesting to see if they can keep the Rizlone driver down, going for 6 in a row. Now it's time for the final race. Two things I know Stat Guy loves: numbers and calm.
Head start going to Arnie Martell in the Pontiac GTO. He won his first race at Virginia over David Rampy. Rampy won at Norwalk. He wins again here in Chicago. The guy is on fire this season.
79th win, and wow, what a way to wrap it up. How about this entire weekend, beginning with the Jegs to the end?
I'll tell you, the Jegs All-Stars is so much fun. Racers from all over the country. Top Dragster, Top Sportsman, a great addition. It is really one of the best programs in the sport.
And as always, we encourage you to check out an upcoming divisional race in the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. They're always fun to attend. We're heading out of the Windy City and going to the Pacific Northwest, and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Northwest Nationals come your way at 5 p.m. August the 14th. How about it for all today's winners, including Bill Reichert and Tony Bartone? We'll see you the next time we go Lucas Oil Drag Racing. Holler if you love it. So long.